Moim gościem jest Peter Milligan i porozmawiam z nim m.in. o jego upodobaniu do mało znanych bohaterów, czy też dziwacznych bohaterów, ale także o Batmanie 2000 AD i tak dalej. So hello, welcome to Beards from Outer Space.
Beards from Outer Space?
Yes, this is the YouTube channel.
Hello, Beards from Outer Space.
This is the YouTube channel you're on.
Okay.
So it's weird enough from the beginning. You really like weird outsider characters, like the Changing Man, for example. You wrote for Tank Girl, for Animal Man, which is not a popular character, which is a very weird character. Do you enjoy writing those like off the wall, very, let's say, not not pretty normal characters, or is it just being shooting blanks?
No, I think it's a good point. I think it's not about enjoy. I think that those characters that are on the edge, those characters whose like mind or lives have moved into a very dark or strange place, it's in that situation that you learn more about a character. And it seems to me that those kind of characters can tell you more about, without being too grand, about the human condition. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. If you just do a story about a normal guy who is completely normal, mm-hmm. and in the centre, maybe you're not talking to. That guy is fairly self-contained. That guy is not going to reveal necessarily too much about himself. Though, as I say this, normal people also reveal a lot about themselves, and normality is perhaps the weirdest thing of all.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, for me, as someone who kind of like just 40 years of a job that he despises, in a marriage that he despises, with kids that despise him, i.e. most of the world's population.
Yeah.
To me, that's the weirdest thing possible. So my characters, compared to them, are completely normal.
Yeah. So you wrote John Constantine, Hellblazer, and Batman. Would you consider those characters in your incarnation like similar? And did you kind of push them in a similar way?
I guess I was interested in that dark side of Batman. Always kind of interested me, and I think that sometimes, for me, the stories drag too much into the light, mm-hmm. Particularly the modern kind of film incarnations of mm-hmm. Batman seems to be. I wrote a story based on. I was watching one of the movies, and I suddenly thought, so much of in this iteration of Batman, so much of his ability to operate is based on money. Is based on high tech. Yeah. It's based on being able to spend millions of dollars on these cutting-edge kind of state-of-the-art kind of equipment, where every missile is going to cost $10,000. So that's not the kind of Batman that interested me. The kind of Batman that interested me was more that kind of the solitary figure working out in a garret somewhere in New York, trying to kind of fight crime on his wits, mm-hmm. on his own.
So which movie or TV or animation movie incarnation would you say was the closest to the way that you would understand and you would feel like those would be your Batman?
I don't think any of them.
And even Kevin Conroy and the Batman the Animated Series, for example?
Yeah, maybe that's closer. Actually, maybe that's closer. Maybe because they didn't.
They didn't use so much gadgets.
Because I think that as soon as you make a film like that, I think it almost becomes like a James Bond film. Yeah. They feel they have to kind of like out-gadget and out-special effects the previous one, and it becomes about that. Mm-hmm. But when you're in a cartoon, you haven't got that kind of restriction. You can just do a story. Bizarrely enough, mm-hmm. a cartoon could be the most expensive film ever made, but in that instance, it tends to be slightly more character.
Yeah, more real. Let's call it that.
Yeah, it's really strange that it should be that way.
Well, maybe a new incarnation some year in the future will be more character.
I think maybe people will get sick of so much mm-hmm. kit involved, and actually be more interested in just like that lone character, that bat, mm-hmm. that kind of like it's in the night, working, using just his wits. And I don't want to talk about Batman too much because I didn't create the character, and I don't think I've necessarily done the best Batman stories. But but he was an interesting character in that, like, he didn't have the superpowers. He was not really a normal man with an extraordinary mind. and extraordinary will.
Yeah, so let's leave Batman if you say
Enough
that.
about Batman.
Yeah, enough Batman. Let's move to other characters, because the list of characters, for example, for Marvel that you wrote about, from many X-Men characters, Thor, Spider-Man, Punisher, whatever. So, do you have like your favorite character from each universe, and why? Like, which one of them is?
Well, I mean, for Marvel, my favourite character is actually one character. I did one story. I think Moonlight. I think Moonlight's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
I think he's a kind of a different kind of character. I like his. I like the fact that we're not sure whether he's mad or whether that, like, was it Honshu or Khonshu?
Khonshu, yeah.
Or we're not sure whether he's mad or whether that strange or familiar.
Or both.
Or both. Exactly right. To me, that's the kind of territory that I'm interested in, where we're not quite sure what's happening, and the character's not quite sure what's happening. But I think probably the thing I've enjoyed most with Marvel is obviously Ecstatics.
Yeah.
Mainly because I created it, and well, myself and Mike Allred created it. So you feel you have more investment in it, and you literally have more investment in it because it's, because it's our stuff, and you can do more about it, and you can also, it's created to say things that really interest you, and it did, and hopefully will continue to do so.
Yeah. What really interested you in the group itself, in this incarnation, this part of the X-Men universe? The X-Men are already interesting when you talk about the issues of discrimination, etc. And you dig deeper and you brought it in a different way.
I wanted to do a story that was kind of a bit more postmodern, a bit more aware of itself as a comic book.
Yeah.
Also, we were living at a time, and I think we still live in a time, that is insanely obsessed with celebrity, and it's almost one of the key signatures of the age. This kind of this obsession with celebrity. Even our fucking politicians have to be celebrities before they become. And it's kind of like, so that hasn't changed. It's just almost got darker or just changed, but it's just got more intense. But really, so I like the idea of these superheroes who are more famous for being famous than they were for their particular superpowers. In Ecstatics, not many of anyone's powers are that good. I mean, Hugo Girl's got a pretty nifty superpower, and she's the guy that gets the characters in and out of fight scenes really quickly. So she's a great kind of way for me to just, there's no preamble to scenes, cut straight to it, she's straight there, and then this goes out of there, But even her, she's not it's not very heroic, because she gets kind of like very tired after, Portium, so she has to have little pick-me-ups, little drugs to take. Even then, there's a kind of reality involved. It's like Carmen Miranda with apparently she used to, high-heeled shoes, she used to dance in, she used to have heels she could wind up and have cocaine in there to little pick-me-up so she could cha-cha-cha a bit faster, And Edie's a bit like that. Not cocaine, but some other kind of concussion,
Yeah.
And so I wanted all the characters to have that kind of like recognisable, celebrity-obsessed culture angle to them.
Talking about characters, like first of all, the group is dysfunctional. The essence of the group is being dysfunctional.
The interesting fights that go on in Ecstatics are the fights between the characters, rather than. I mean, it's almost like the people they fight, like, I mean, the bad kind of guys, if you like.
Yeah.
They're almost second to me. It's the internal relationships, it's the internal battles that go on inside this bunch of egos.
So would you say like this was the same thing or similar thing that brought you to Justice League Dark?
There's a very different tone.
Yeah, different tone, but also the dysfunctional.
Well, that's what I was interested. That's what I was interested in. I guess that interests me more than can these bunch of people beat up this other bunch of people, which is pretty boring because it doesn't say anything and it doesn't speak to me, and it doesn't say anything about what it is to be anything. But how this group of people with disparate powers who kind of need each other and are really only effective when they're together. Indeed, with Justice League Dark, I wanted to suggest that in some ways, without each other, all of these characters are borderline insane or borderline certificable. These characters almost without each other, many of whom they kind of hate, they're really fucked up. All they are fucked up characters.
Yeah.
Together, they just might be a team. Mm-hmm. But that means getting on with these people that they kind of don't. Now, I don't know whether that came across, but that was my original idea.
We got like probably 2 minutes, so I gotta ask two questions.
Final in-depth question that somehow wraps up everything else.
Jesus Christ, no, that's too hard. I'll have one request and one. The question would be: is there a character from either universe or even outside of the DC Marvel universe that you always felt like a connection, but you haven't yet had the time to work on, or really wanted to work to tell a story, certain story, something like that? Because do you feel like complete? Oh, I don't need to write comics anymore.
There's nothing that keeps me up at night thinking I must write this character.
Yeah, so like the biggest from, I don't know, the one that maybe 10 years ago or even like a few years ago we said, okay, there's this one that I want, and once I got him, I'm
no, when people ask me a question like that, the only thing there's kind of one comic I wouldn't mind going back and rewriting. One character I wouldn't mind having another stab at, because I'm not really in love with what I did. Most of the stuff I might see faults in it, but I kind of know what I'm getting at. But this one, I kind of I wouldn't mind going back and Elektra. I wouldn't mind, because
this is the mini series that you wrote.
Because Elektra as a character that was so interesting in the Oresteia, you know, as how Aeschylus wrote her, obviously in the Greek drama.
Yeah.
She's such an interesting character, and the relationship. And I'm not sure if that came. I'm not sure if that's come across in any of the comics.
Probably.
And I mean, the name is not for nothing.
Yeah.
She's called Elektra.
But it wasn't probably really used like in that context.
Yeah,
in
but I mean,
the Frank Miller stories. It's
sure, but you know,
they go in a different way.
Eugene O'Neill, a morning becomes Elektra. But that's obviously he wasn't being specific. It was just kind of this idea of this. This creature, what does she represent? And I just wanted a better story and a better character. But you know, we can't. Sometimes it's best just to leave alone. And
It's sometimes
move on.
Yeah, move on.
Forwards.
Not to go back and rewrite the story. Because it was like the representation of you a few years ago. So thank you for all the answers. And now the request, which I ask every guest I interview, is to say hello to our fans, but in Polish. So, which is in Poland, it's witajcie na brodach z kosmosu. This is this.
Witajcie na brodzie z kosmów.
Kosmosu.
Kosmosu.
Yeah. Witajcie na brodach.
Witajcie na brodach. Witajcie na brodach z
Kosmosu.
Kosmos. Kosmos?
Yeah.
Kosmos?
Kosmos.
Okay. Witajcie na brodzie z kosmos.
Great. Thank you very much once again, and it was a pleasure talking to you.